Hi guys, and welcome to a brand new video on how to play BOTB. I was actually talking through the mic with it being on mute. Hope you're all doing well. Oh, fine. We've got Dan in the house. We've got Ashley in the house. What's happening, man? I'm good. I'm good. Dan, the man, you've been doing really well in these last couple of pictures, haven't you, Dan? Hi, Ashley. What's happening? I've not really been really active on the group, but I do look at the messages, guys. Muting mic's always my problem too. Yeah, man. I thought I was talking. I didn't realise. Joining meetings. Is that for work, yeah? Unrigged, I told you. Jeez, man. This week's picture is very interesting, man. It's really interesting. A really interesting picture. I'm just gonna wait for a couple more people to join the regulars, and then hopefully we can get on with the picture. It wasn't a bad midweek one, wasn't it? I know a lot of people weren't happy with the judging, but I personally think it was good judging, even though I was slightly higher, but I think overall the judging was brilliant, considering it being a midweek. You know that there are going to be some weird judging. It's always the case. It's always the case. Consider it, you know, if for the midweek, just say for instance, they did take out the lowest judges, it would have been on the money for me. But look, because they kept them lower judges in, some of you guys got runners up because of that. So it just works. I've come to terms with how the judging system works. Sometimes you might be off by 10 pixels, sometimes you might be off just by 1, and just coming that close in itself is a big achievement. But I think we've got quite a few people joined up now, so I'm gonna start with the actual live stream, and this is where I am currently with the DREAMCAR competition. Ignore the top one and ignore the bottom one. I've just got them as a reference point for how high I personally think a judge can go and how low it can come as well. And you know, the lowest one is not just based on his eyes, it's based on how in which direction his head is actually positioned as well. So that's why that one's there. And not only that, does make kind of sense for this guy, because to me, again guys, I know I've said this in the first video I made, that this guy here, if you look the way his face is and the way he's positioned, for me it looks like the ball's in front of him. So I'm still, I know my average is still a bit to the left, but I'm still more concerned that the guy is looking a bit more towards the right. Guys, just give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, where was I? Who have we got in? We've actually got quite a few people in. Lyman, how you doing? We've got Conrad, we've got Dave, we've got Dennis. We've got quite a few people. I actually forgot where I was, but I was talking about the guy in blue and how I feel like the ball isn't over his head. I still think that the ball is slightly more towards the right because he can see the ball with both eyes. It's just the way if you position yourself in his body language, if you position yourself in that and look upwards, you can't see, because if you look like that, it restricts how far you can see. So I know some people are saying it's if you go straight up from his pupil towards the left hand side, it just restricts him seeing the center of the ball, if you know what I mean. So if I draw a line and say this is where I think the ball is, for me, guys, the way if you look at his wrinkles on his forehead, the way he's positioned, I think it's kind of impossible for him to see the ball right there. Maybe he could see half of the ball, but if you position yourself in that and look up, you'll only be able to see part of the ball flying over you. Not only that, it don't make sense the ball's flying over him. I think he's generally looking in this direction. If you look at his pupil, there's more whiteness on that side. So for me personally, guys, like I said, I find it really difficult to go straight up and then get an average. So I'm going on the basis that there is a slight lean over to that side, something along them lines, guys. I know it doesn't look a lot, but if you look at the pixels, look, your X automatically goes all the way into 1500s, whereas here you're in the early 1400s. That's 100 pixel difference. Specky Mickey, how you doing, bro? M123, I remember one time the judging placed the ball over the player's head like he's looking through the top of his head. I remember that as well. I actually do remember that. That's a good point. But we had poor judging then. I think the judging has really improved since then. Dave is saying, Dan Alec, okay, you guys are talking between each other. Ashley is saying to Dave, Lyman, cool Dave. I hope you get better, Dave, if you're not well. Specky Mecky, come on, give us your magic coordinate. Right, guys, I'm going to just get into taking people's coordinates because I don't want to keep the live stream too long. There's not a lot I can talk about the picture. If you look at my last video, guys, I go into quite a bit of detail of why I think the ball is slightly more towards the right. My last video, I don't know, to me, guys, I think that was the best way I could clarify what I meant by the ball not being far to the left. Height wise, it is still, for me, guys, I'm currently at 830s. I did come down to 900s at one point, around 925. So I did say from 900 and just say 930. Just 1 second. 930, 34. So my height was roughly, I had two coordinates from the last video. I had one into the 930s and one up in 834, but I preferred the 834 more purely because of this guy's whiteness under his eyes. I thought maybe, you know, he's looking a lot higher than what I'm actually getting. But taking everything into consideration, guys, I'm still, this is obviously me, guys. You know, there's times where you get that gut feeling and think, you know what, the ball is here, but my gut feeling is something similar to this, guys. I'll show you on 3D paint. If you look at the yellow lines, guys, the yellow lines are just like a reference point of the area I'm currently in, with the circle there. That's where I am, and I think, you know, that it's a decent average where I currently am. But my gut instinct, my inner self, is saying to me, maybe the ball's slightly more towards the right. I could be totally wrong, guys, or it could be something to take into consideration as well when you're placing your coordinates. Is if the ball is slightly more towards the right, and then we get an average from both of them, you go automatically into around, I'd say, you automatically land into about 15-20s. So this could be zone 2, this could be zone 1, vice versa. This could be zone 2 and that could be zone 1. So anyways, I'm gonna take your guys' coordinates. He's not walking backwards, he's shielding the player. That's who's walking backwards? Anyways, let me just take everyone's coordinates. Okay, Ashley is saying 15, 58, 721. See, Ashley, I think me and Ashley are on a similar boat right now, because Ashley, you know, the coordinates that you shared and the average you shared was spot on to what I was thinking. So me and Ashley are pretty much on the same boat. Right, let me just get rid of these, and then we can start taking. I'll leave my coordinates. 1558 721. 1558. Ashley's Specky Mecky is saying 1518 625. 1518 625. Cool. M123 is saying 1490 901. 901. Cool. Dennis is saying 1460 900. 1460 900. We've got Heather saying 1534 740. Okay, Conrad is saying he's got more coordinates to the right, so it's 1567 674. 1567. I see some of you guys are going a lot higher than me. I couldn't personally get coordinates that high with the guy, but if you place a coordinate up that high, it does look good. I'm not saying it's a bad coordinate. I just personally couldn't line up a coordinate up there. 674. But you know, the good thing about coordinates like that is it gives us a better spread for when getting an average. Okay, Lyman was saying my first coordinate was 1688.912. 1668. 1688.902. Not bad. Right, and we've got Ashley saying I'm using my calculator now to get an average for the group based off the codes posted. Awesome, Ashley, thank you, I appreciate that. Danny's saying 1519.732. 1519.732. Awesome, that's Dan's. Dennis is giving another coordinate, which is 1481.881. 1481.881. I'll say in this one you've pushed a bit more forward. Awesome. That coordinate's not far from my my average. Okay, we've got 95th octane. I have to say this is a tricky one. It is. It's not as straightforward. Another thing I want to show you guys is, you know, because I was looking at the couple of old judging videos, is we've had a few players, a few pictures where players have the eyes like this, and you guys are right. The majority of the judges in them videos were literally drawing a straight line like that, and then they were bringing it out. So now it matters. This is what matters: how far the X is gonna actually get pushed towards that direction. But generally, on majority of the pictures, the judges drew a straight line up and then pushed the second line outwards, and 9 out of 10 times the actual average landed in between both of them. So that's another thing to take into consideration for this week one. It's not the easiest pictures. I must agree, man. It's not the easiest pictures this week. We really haven't had a straightforward picture for a while. There's two good possibilities. One, like you guys are saying, the ball being a bit more towards the left hand side where they draw the lines pretty straight up, but if the judges look at the picture and say, no, hold on a minute, the ball is further out to the right and these two are having a bit of a scuffle, pushing each other, he's pushed him, he's holding on to him, the ball can't really be that close to the players or right above them, in the sense where they're scuffling for each other, and you can end up more towards the right and a lot higher up where some of you guys have put these coordinates. It makes total sense because they're still waiting for the ball to drop, so they're still in a bit of a scuffle. But you see, you can fight with that, saying, no, hold on a minute, they're fighting because the ball is pretty close as well, and they're having a bit of a scuffle, so ball's not really far off from either player. So this is where it becomes really difficult. So wherever area you get, and if you're feeling good and confident, I'd say just play it. Anthony is saying 1521.768. 1521. 768. 1521.768. Awesome. Who else have we got? Pike Cartel, yes, bro. Quickly checking in halftime football. 1489.10. 1480. 1480 910. Yep. Right, awesome. I think I've got a decent amount of coordinates now. We've got a decent amount of coordinates, and you know, this is the thing. I was gonna say to you guys, with this week one, I'm gonna play in a angle, and if you look at our coordinates, if you look how we started, it's actually a line going straight up anyway. It's not directly straight up, but it's going towards this side. It's angled more in that direction. So if I were just to draw lines, just to show you in that direction, which is pretty good. That's what something I would have played my tickets in that direction. Rather than going from left to right, I would have played it in the diagonal. But personally, guys, I think there's not a lot we can actually say, look, you know, I'm feeling really confident in a certain area, because I'm feeling confident in a couple of areas, and then that's what makes it a lot harder for you to actually get just say for instance a zone 1 area. Like if you look at the midweek that just went, there were just 2 possible areas, either higher or lower. There wasn't a middle or left or a right as much. But this one, you can go left, you can go right, you can go higher, you can go lower. It's a bit of a mess. And lads, I was just actually thinking about you, bro. Did you get one of mine? Steers, sorry bro, did I miss yours out? Let me just double check. I'll just add it in 1485 901. I'm pretty sure I did put a coordinate. 901. Yeah, so you're pretty close. Laya, I swear, cuss me, bro. You know, before I started the live stream, I was actually thinking I haven't had a message from Nads. I wouldn't lie, bro. I think it sounds so wrong, but I was actually thinking, where's Nads gone? He hasn't even messaged. We got Tug F126. Hi Stig, it's Kev Wilson. This is my iPhone username. My colors here. Oh Kev, how you doing, bro, man? 14 74 841. 14 74 841. That's Kev's. Being busy working. Too much money, bro, man. Yeah, you're chasing the money. I'm only joking. I've been sat at home whole day today. Literally whole day. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do whatever I need to after the live stream. Just had a lazy day, man. Okay, Ashley, did you manage to get the actual average, or shall I just line that up? So is that the magic coordinate, Nadeem? Yeah, 1421 890. 1421 890. That's balanced things out a bit, isn't it? Actually, I'll let you do the calculated average. What I'll do is I'll try getting an average with just counting the coordinates. 1 2 3 4 1 2 8. So roughly height wise about there. This is what I'm getting, Ashley, roughly. I'd say a rough average from all our coordinates is 15, 10, 8, 2, 0. Not bad. I'm pretty close with the rough average. So Ashley has given it, which is Conrad is saying 15, 12, 8, 2, 1. Ashley is saying we're now at 15, 14, 8, 1, 5. Uh, 15, 14, 8, 1, 5. Yes. So 15, 14, 8, 1, 5. Eight, 1, 5. That's our average here. This was mine, I think. Here was it? Yes, I'm pretty sure, because I put 2 coordinates just so I don't get confused. Let me get rid of them and then I'll show you where I was, and then we can take it from there. Let me get rid of these coordinates. Did any of you guys actually check out the new Golf R? Boy, I'm actually in love with the new Golf R, man. Honestly, I think it's gonna be one of those cars that's gonna be on point. I've always been a Golf R fan. Right from the beginning. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. The way these coordinates are lined up, I really like that. That's what I was thinking of playing. Somewhat similar to this. In that direction. They actually look pretty neat. So I probably won't just get rid of them right now. I can't find the rest of the coordinates. I'll get rid of that one. Just want to get rid of this further one away. Okay, so whoever gave this coordinate is pretty decent as well, because it's in line going in that direction. That was our average from the group. 15, 14 and 8, 14. And my own average was 1493, 830. So it's about 15 pixels higher, and I'd say about 20 pixels more to the right. That's our group average, and this is what I was trying to explain in the 3D paint picture. Is that's where my average is, 1490, 838. But when you draw the lines for the guy in blue and slightly push it more towards the right, it does push the actual average into the 1500s. And if you look, our group average has slightly pushed into the 1500s. It's slightly higher than my average, but it has pushed into 1500. So this is where what I was trying to explain is this week's picture is so difficult to actually pinpoint a spot. I would say, I would highly recommend is if you're finding your spot good and you find another spot but it's decent, spread your tickets. So if you're playing 10 tickets, play 5 there and 5 here. That's all I can say, guys. I don't think we can get anything better. Pike Cartel is saying, yep, drift mode on the Golf R. Are you mad? Yeah, man. That's what I love. The blue color does look amazing. Dan Alex is saying 815 baffles me. Dan, if you could just obviously give an insight why you find it as the height at 815 is it low? Is it too low? Is it too high? Because I'm sure you gave a coordinate was slightly higher. But let's draw some lines for our average and see how it looks. I'll draw it a bit bigger. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I really like that area. That's my own personal opinion, is I really like that area just because it looks pretty decent. I think that area does look pretty decent. For me, guys, that's a really, really good area. From here, look. All that area looks, I think it's plausible. But then again, the areas you guys have given are really, really good. Okay, Danny's saying he thinks it's too low. So you're 100 pixels, and this is the thing, Alex, is at this height where we've got our average, there's people that are 100 pixels lower. So there's people that are playing in 900s, and there's people that are playing like yourself in 700s. But what I try to do with my videos is try to get the actual average. I know you'd want to line it up and get an area which looks really perfect with both players in eye lines and whatnot. But have you realized when we get an average from the judging, it's not always perfect with the eye line? For example, just the midweek that's gone, a lot of people were saying, oh, how is he looking that far left, his eyes don't line up. But they actually got the average in that area. The rest of the judges played in areas that nearly everyone picked. So some of the judges went slightly higher, some went lower. The odd ones went a bit to the left. And that's the case, guys. This is the thing that you have to take into account, that, you know, when I play my coordinates, I try playing looking for an average. I don't play entirely on the eye line, because I think that makes it really, really difficult. You might get 1, 2 or 3 judges going in that same area, but the other 7 might find a total different area, and then when it comes to the average, you end up in zone 2 or zone 3, just purely because on that basis. Stig, if you focus on the red guy's eye, that's the first thing I noticed, Alex, was this guy's eye. It does, honestly, it does look like he's looking in that direction. I agree with you, Alex. In that area, it does, but the rest of his body, his head and stuff, doesn't match with him looking that high, if you know what I mean. That's my own personal opinion. For me, I just can't see his head doesn't seem to be looking that high up. And another thing, I don't know, man. I can't see any whiteness unless I'm blind. I can't see any whiteness under his eyes, or unless you could say that part there is a slight bit of whiteness. That's the only thing, Alex. You know, for me, the 2 head positions I got was, one, obviously here, where I was saying, look, his head is generally looking in that direction, and the second one is a lot lower, guys. That's like in the thousands, with it being in this direction here. These are the 2 places that I thought that the ball, the guy's head is looking in that direction. The reason why I've gone more with the orange one is because of his eye is just looking in that direction for me. If I were to place a ball roughly around this area, it matches up with his head. If I put it here, yes, it matches up with his head, but it doesn't match up with his eye. That's yeah, I totally agree as well, man. That if the judges were to play that high, I think all of them would have to be up here. Every single one would have to be up here, and that's the thing. I can't see every single judge being up in 700s to get that as an average. But guys, play with your gut instinct with this week. Me personally, guys, I'm gonna stick with minimum tickets. I'm playing for the, like I said, the Golf R. So I'd love to be the winner of the new Golf R, because that's something I'll definitely keep. So the first winner of the new Golf R, I would love to win it. Honestly, guys, I would really love to win it. Tobias is saying I think it will be in the 800s. I think it could be, but Alex, don't be put off by saying, oh look, everybody's playing in the 800s. If you feel solid in 700s, bro, trust me, go for it, because it only what we do with the live streams and with the videos is a guideline, bro. It's just something to give somebody else to look at, and you know, like I said, I'm not always 100% right. We're not always 100% right with our averages, but I've realized we are consistent with getting zone 1, if you know what I mean. We are consistent. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap up the live stream. Honestly, I would love to stay longer, but I've got a few things to do. I left it really late. I thought I'd share my idea with you guys. What I'll do is I'll get this picture hopefully up on my Instagram, and you guys can have a look at the lining on this and see what it means. And if you guys want an in-depth evaluation on this picture, check out my last video. In my last video I try explaining what I actually see and what I mean by the average being pushed slightly to the right, and some of you guys that are in 900s, I explain in that video what I mean when I got my actual coordinate in 900s and why the judges can go slightly higher. It's all about how many judges actually get to stay in the picture as well. So hopefully, guys, I'm gonna catch up with you guys on Tuesday. Let's hope I am the winner of the new Golf R. I really love the Golf R, so I'd love to win it, like from BOTB, the first one to win the Golf R. It'd be amazing, honestly. It would be amazing. But Nika getting no, brother, I've got a lot of people texting me right now, man. Nika's married, bro. Nika's married. But I really appreciate you guys joining my live stream. Honestly, I wish I could talk more about the picture, but I didn't want to repeat myself. As you guys can see from my last video, it's a lot in detail, and I don't want to go over the same thing over. It kind of makes it boring. So if you guys want to see a detailed video, just check my last video out. Hopefully I'll catch up with you guys on Tuesday. I pray we have a winner in the family. And like always, guys, if you like my content, please like, share and subscribe. Like always, take care. Peace.